The President of Cuba, Miguel Díaz-Canel, welcomed international solidarity in the midst of the work to put out the fire in Matanzas. 5 flights arrived throughout the island from Mexico and 1 from Venezuela with technical assistance. All is set in Colombia for Gustavo Petro's swearing-in ceremony as the new President of the Republic. And 32 people, 6 of them children, have been killed in Israel's bombardment of Gaza since Friday. Several Arab governments condemned Tel Aviv's violation of international conventions. Hello, welcome to From the South. I'm Luis Alberto Matos from the teleSUR studios in Havana, Cuba. We begin with the news. The government of Cuba received humanitarian aid from countries around the world that have joined the persistent efforts to fight the fire at the supertanker base at Matanzas. 5 flights arrived from the island from Mexico, with technical assistance being these first specialists from the region to arrive in Cuba in order to help extinguish the huge fire that began on Friday. Venezuela joined these actions of solidarity, and a flight with 35 firefighters experts in highly complex operations of state oil company of Venezuela, PDVSA, and more than 20 tons of supplies arrived from that country to collaborate with the Cuban government and people. Chile, Argentina, Russia, Nicaragua, and Colombia have also expressed their willingness to help, the latter through President-elect Gustavo Petro. These expressions of solidarity are in response to a request for help to countries around the world issued by the Cuban President Miguel Díaz-Canel, who thanked them for their support in the emergency. Several presidents and international leaders expressed their solidarity with the Cuban people after the explosion in Matanzas. Through his account on Twitter, the president of Venezuela, Nicolás Maduro, expressed that entire Venezuela is in solidarity with Cuba and the people of Matanzas in the face of the accident that occurred in the supertanker base. Received the Bolivarian embrace. You are not alone. We are fully prepared to provide the necessary help. President Díaz-Canel, count on us. For his part, the Deputy Foreign Minister of Cuba, Carlos Fernández de Cosío, highlighted, "We deeply appreciate the condolences and expressions of help of various American organizations and people on the occasion of the massacre, including the government of the United States, which offered technical advice, proposed already in the hands of specialists for proper coordination." Also, the President of Bolivia, Luis Arce, expressed all our solidarity with the brotherly people of Cuba affected by a heavy fire in the port of Matanzas. We follow this unfortunate event closely. Cuba is not alone. Same Executive Secretary of the Bolivarian Alliance for the Peoples of Our America People's Trade Treaty, Sasha Llorenti, also reported, "We express our solidarity with the people and government of Cuba. We wish the injured a speedy recovery, and we recognize the heroic efforts of those who work to control this situation." Likewise, the governor of Canada noted, "We are saddened to hear the tragic news of the fire in the industrial zone of Matanzas. Canada expresses solidarity with Cuba, especially with the affected and missing persons, their family, and the brave people who continue to fight the fire." There are important news in Bolivia as the plurinational government reached an agreement with the Federation of Farmers Workers of Santa Cruz, ending the conflict and blockades that had been lifted in the last few days. After a meeting with representatives of Bolivian government this Friday afternoon, a 4th intermission was declared until Friday, August 12th. Both individuals and in blockades held in the city of La Paz, the administrative headquarters of the plurinational government. The farmer workers demand, among other points, the modification of Supreme Decree 21.215 of the National Institute of Agrarian Reform regulations, and ask for the immediate destitution of National Director Eulogio Núñez. These points will be discussed when next August 12th they meet with President Luis Arce, and as reported by Vice Minister of Lands Ramiro Guerrero, after signing the minutes, the dialogue tables will start.
Two, resulting from this meeting, two technical work tables proposed by the Peasant Federation will be set up, which will include technical personnel, authorities of the area, and representatives of the organization. Three, within the framework of this agreement, the Single Union Federation of Peasants, APY-Quitumpa, commits itself to lift all pressure measures.
Farmer representatives whose maturity was acknowledged by the Deputy Land Minister have restated their willingness to cooperate with the new administration. Farmer Representative Franklin Vargas said they are giving the new administration a vote of confidence.
We came here for it is our right as peasants. We are accepting this agreement with our new government, that it be on August 12th. We want our new president to be present. Our people are a little upset. They are telling us that maybe we are lowering our guard, but we are going to support our government. I want our government to understand that we are going to support them. We also ask our government to support us, to our people. It is true that it is delayed, but we have just agreed with our regional organizations that we are lifting the roadblocks.
In Colombia, everything is ready for the swearing-in ceremony of Gustavo Petro as the country's new president. Petro will be sworn in around 3 p.m. local time at Bolivar Square in Bogota in front of a large delegation of international guests, among them the President of Argentina, Alberto Fernandez, Gabriel Boric, President of Chile, and Luis Arce of Bolivia. He will be joined by environmentalist Francia Marquez, 40 years old, who will be sworn in as the first Afro-Colombian vice president. She embarked on a tour to strengthen ties with progressive forces in the region after the electoral victory. Colombia's indigenous Afro and Campesino peoples handed over the presidential mandate to leftist Gustavo Petro on Saturday in a symbolic ceremony in Bogota on the eve of his official inauguration on August 7th. Thousands of people waved flags of different social organizations and launched slogans in favor of the first leftist government in Colombia's history. The communities gave the president a document with their main demands: peace in remote territories, defense of the environment, protection of minorities, transformation of anti-drug policies, defense of human rights, renewal of the armed forces, among others. Petro will assume power on Sunday, replacing conservative Ivan Duque for a 4-year term with no possibility of re-election by constitutional order. His vice president-elect, environmentalist Francia Marquez, participated in the traditional ceremony and received the same support from the communities.
We will inaugurate a government with social movements, not a government that rules over social movements, let alone a government that distinguishes social movements.
We're taking a short break now. Join us again after this. Nations Asian vowed a closer cooperation and greater efforts to safeguard regional peace and stability. During the 55th Asian held in Cambodia Foreign Ministers meeting and the related meetings, China released a statement on its support to Asian centrality. For 8 foreign ministers attending the event spoke highly of the dynamic, rich, and effective Asian-China cooperation since the establishment of the Comprehensive Strategic Foreign Partnership. They also reaffirmed to uphold the One China principle and supported China to defend its sovereignty and territorial integrity. This resolution comes as this year marks the 55th anniversary of the founding of ASEAN and the first year of China-Asian Comprehensive Strategic Partnership. The conflict caused by the visit of U.S. Congresswoman Nancy Pelosi to the Chinese island of Taiwan continues to focus the attention of those attending the summit of Southeast Asian Association Foreign Ministers in Phnom Penh, capital of Cambodia. At the meeting, in presence of Secretary of State Antony Blinken, Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi defended and ratified the measures taken by Beijing following the event, which are considered by Chinese authorities as a violation of the One China principle adopted in 1971 with the agreement of the United Nations General Assembly. The head of the Chinese diplomacy has claimed that if United States interferences in his country's internal politics are overlooked, Washington will become even more unscrupulous and turn the world into a lawless jungle.
The United States' habit is to create a problem and then use this problem to achieve its goals. But this approach will not work with China. We want to issue a warning to the United States not to act rashly and not to create a bigger crisis. China's military exercises were operated openly, transparently, and professionally. This is only to meet our need for self-defense and express our determination to oppose Taiwan's independence. If anyone is to escalate the tension, they must have some other purposes, and it must be stopped.
Parts of Europe have been battling devastating wildfires over recent weeks amid extreme summer heat, which have destroyed areas of forest that are far greater than the averages for previous years. Entering 2022, a total of over 607,000 hectares of forest have been burned across EU countries, second only to the loss of 987,800 hectares of forest during the fire season in 2017, according to data released by the Joint Research Centre of the European Commission. Experts believe that climate change has intensified the fires, making them spread faster, last longer, and burn more intensely. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan met with his Russian counterpart Vladimir Putin on Friday in the Russian coastal city of Sochi for a day-long working visit. Both heads of state discussed regional and international issues, as well as Turkey-Russian relations.
Has been resolved with your direct participation and with Secretary of the United Nations Antonio Guterres' organization's mediation. Supplies have already begun. I want to thank you for this and for the fact that at the same time, one packed decision has been made about uninterrupted supplies of Russian food and Russian fertilizers to world markets, because it's an issue for many countries, especially for developing countries.
The President of Turkey, Recep Tayyip Erdogan, highlighted the importance of the roles played by both countries in the region.
The fact that we discuss developments in Syria will bring relief to the region. Our solidarity in the fight against terrorism is very important. I believe that it will be reinforced with our steps and meetings. It is important to have this bilateral meeting today. It's very important in terms of demonstrating the role Turkey and Russia play in the region.
In the United States, at least 10 people have died, including 3 children, as a result of a fire that occurred this Friday in the town of Nescopec in Lucerne County in the state of Pennsylvania. According to local authorities, the ages of the 3 children range from 5 to 7 years old, while the rest of the victims, who have been identified, are adults between 19 and 79 years old. The causes of the raging fire are not revealed yet. However, the fire department assured that the violence of the flames prevented them from acting faster. And we have more news coming up after a final short break, so don't go away. Welcome back from the south. Israeli bombardment of the Gaza Strip since Friday has already killed 32 people, 6 of them children, and injured more than 253. Several Arab governments have denounced Tel Aviv's violation of international conventions. The Palestinian Health Ministry confirmed the death of 2 youngsters in the Jabalia refugee camp north of Gaza. Meanwhile, civil defense forces involved in the rescue operation at the bombed buildings reported at least 8 deaths in the city of Rafah. In retaliation, Palestinian militias fired rockets to the areas of Jerusalem and other locations in Israel. Occupying forces confirmed at least 580 rockets fired from the enclave. Salama Maruf from the Gaza Government Information Office confirmed that 650 homes were destroyed during the onslaught. Al-Quds brigades also certified the death of their leader in the northern region, Taiser al-Jabari, and the Secretary General of this formation, Ziad al-Nakala, announced the beginning of hostilities against Israel. Several Israeli legislators have called on their government to cease hostilities against Gaza, claiming that such acts are politically motivated in times of elections. Kenya is heading to the general elections next August 9th. This Thursday, former Prime Minister and presidential candidate Raila Odinga held his campaign closing rally. The presidential hopeful held a rally in Kisumu County, western Kenya, known as his stronghold. Hundreds of followers attended the rally to express their support for the presidential candidate and his running mate Martha Karua. According to a poll published on Tuesday, Odinga would win the election with 47% of the votes compared to 41% for the country's outgoing Vice President William Ruto.
The work of uniting the people of Kenya will continue. And that's why I've told the people who are running against us, Uhuru is the outgoing President of the Republic of Kenya. Leave him alone. Let him go and retire in peace. If you have a problem, face Raila Odinga and Martha Karua squarely.
On Thursday, Senegal's National Vote Counting Commission announced the preliminary results of the legislative elections, and the ruling coalition is expected to lose its majority in Congress. According to the president of the commission, Sire Aliba, the coalition of the party of Senegalese President Macky Sall had the absolute majority with 125 seats. Meanwhile, Beno Bokjakar, United for Hope, has won 82 seats. Ranking third, the main opposition coalition, You We As Can We, Free the People, led by opposition leader Ousmane Sonko, won 56 seats, and his coalition Wulu Senegal won 24 seats. With a total of 165 seats in the National Assembly, parliamentary groups need at least 83 seats to obtain an absolute majority, so no coalition has the necessary support, in principle, to form a new government.
The Wallu Senegal coalition obtained 16 seats in the majority vote and 8 in the proportional vote for a total of 24 seats. The Yiki Askan coalition also obtains some 39 seats by a majority vote and 17 by proportional votes, making 56 seats altogether.
Main opposition coalition in Senegal says they will not verify the police station records of the latest elections until all pertaining documents are available to be examined.
What should also be noted as information is that the Yiwi Askanwi coalition did not sign the report. We refuse to sign this report because we cannot accept this refusal of a right enshrined in the Electoral Code in its Article 11-142, which gives the possibility to all the representatives of the coalitions to have access to all the documents and to examine them. Today we asked the President of the National Commission to count the votes, and he rejected our requests. The Wallu Senegal coalition obtained 16 seats in the majority vote and 8 in the proportional vote for a total of 24 seats. The Yiki Askan coalition also obtains some 39 seats by a majority vote and 17 by proportional votes, making 56 seats altogether.
teleSUR English continues to grow. Its signal now reaches Europe. You can order from your cable dealer, tune it yourself. These parameters that you see on screen are in place since July 1st, and quite soon further changes will be implemented for the signals in the Middle East and Africa. Now more than ever, the world connects to us, and our stories are heard in other faraway nations. This news multi-platform will continue providing truthful content to oppose the hegemonic media's narrative and our faithfulness to our audience. We have come to the end of this news briefing. You can find these and many other stories on our website at telesurenglish.net. You can also join us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Telegram. For teleSUR English, I'm Luis Alberto Matos. Thank you for watching.